Hey guys, it's Kelly from the Supplemental Mom. Okay, so today we're going to talk about all things Pinterest. I love Pinterest. I've used it before. My business is, just personal stuff. And I kind of can sort of consider myself a little bit of a Pinterest junkie. And I recently did some trainings and just got some additional research about some really cool things that I've learned, and I wanted to really share that with you. So, just to sort of start off, Pinterest is a visual search engine. It's not necessarily qualified under social media. People go on there to search for actual things. They don't necessarily go on there to connect with people. And so, how do people search? They look at their dream, their plan, and they see themselves in what you're doing. So, how that differs from like Facebook and Instagram, where people want that know, like, and trust factor. Oh, let me search. There's my second screen. They want that on Facebook and Instagram. They want that know, like, and trust factor. So you'll see a lot of those lifestyle posts of people, posing in pictures, or this is me on the beach hanging out, whatever. That's because people want to see what you're doing. They want to connect with you there. But with Pinterest, that's not necessarily the case. They want to see themselves in what you're doing. So that's why you'll see a lot of, those product-based pins where there's like a fall outfit and there's no head. That's because people want to imagine themselves wearing that outfit versus where, like, on Facebook and Instagram, they might want to like see you in that outfit. Hey, you look really nice in that outfit. Okay, buy my stuff, whatever. So that's kind of where you see them split off a little bit. And knowing that is a little bit is a benefit, because then you could sort of change up the way that you're doing things on Pinterest. Okay, so let's talk about SEO, engine optimization. When you're searching for stuff on Pinterest, it's you're getting those keyword extractions, and it's similar to Google in the way that you sort of search, but not as specific. So obviously, when Pinterest is ranking your pins, you want to make sure that you have in your pin title a lot of really great keywords in there. Your board description needs to have keywords in there as well too. Your rich pins, when you apply to get rich pins, they'll obviously pull out keywords as well too. And then you're going to want to make sure that it's all consistent. So whatever page that it's linked to within your pin, your title description and your text, all of that has to be very cohesive, and it has to really match up. You're not going to want to put like a pin about, sinks, and then it goes to something about beauty. Like, it doesn't necessarily match, and they're going to get confused on that. And they're probably not going to rank your pin as high. So obviously, like I said, you have to have relevant content on your site as well too. All right, let's talk about some SEO tips. So when you are putting all of your keywords and your descriptions within your pin, don't sound like a robot, sound human, make it sound natural. And don't stuff like keywords in there. Like, that strategy might have worked, on Google or whatever other search engines a while ago. But when you're stuffing all those keywords in there and just making it sound artificial, they're going to pick up on that, and they're not going to rank your pin as high. Definitely check your analytics. So when you have established your pin, go back. It takes a few days for a pin to really kind of get itself out there. But go check back in on it after a few days and sort of see what's working and what's not working. And then if you think that you need to change that, you can definitely do that. There are no limits to pins. So Pinterest will not take you down a notch if you put more pins in. It really wants you to circulate news, content, and new stuff all the time. So when I'm doing a blog post, I'll make at least 3 to 4, I probably should do even more. They say up to like 5 pins for each of those, blog posts or whatever page that you're linking that to is great, because you're gonna be constantly, getting new stuff in and new pins in. And what's really cool about that is, like, you can sort of, cater each pin and sort of look at all those different keywords that might apply and sort of cater it to each of those keywords and modify it a little bit. One tip that I got, which I didn't look at in the very beginning, is don't use script fonts. So they're really, really pretty, but you can't see them. So most people are viewing Pinterest on their phone and you're just scrolling, you're scrolling, you're scrolling. And if you have like a matter of like seconds to really grab somebody's attention. So if you've got some weird swirly font, which is really very pretty, but if somebody can't read that, they're just going to keep scrolling up and they're going to move on. So I had to take that into consideration as well too when I first started doing this. Okay, so keyword research. So obviously, if you're going to want to do your keyword research, you go to the top search part of the search bar of Pinterest and you search keywords. So if you're looking to, I don't know, supplement your income or how to make money online, you search that up there. And underneath, you're going to get those broad terms. So you're going to see what's going to be searched a little bit more, and you can sort of cater your keywords to that as well too. So if you're like make money online, and then you're going to make money online tips or make extra money online, and you're going to get all your really awesome keywords research up there at that top bit. Just not like Google. Don't worry about every specific keyword. You don't have to worry about plurals, what your order is or similar terms. Pinterest is going to pick up all of that kind of stuff with the whole package of what you do. So they're looking at your image and picking out, and I might be getting ahead of myself here, but they're going to pick out keywords from your image, your title, your description, things like that. So all of that's going to sort of come together. So you don't have to be so specific when you're looking on Pinterest, when you're putting in your keywords. It's definitely pulling a little bit from everything that you're doing. Okay, now let's talk about your images. So after you put your image out there, you obviously want to look at how your pins are ranking, because little tweaks to each of your pins, it just could be, how you used your fonts or how you use your overlays, and look at all that and assess whether or not that's working and then make those tweaks accordingly. You're also going to want to look at how your text relatedness is, obviously linking to what I said before, your keywords, making sure that there's consistent with your text, your pin titles, your images. Obviously, everything has to be visually similar, or it's going to sort of throw people off, and it's going to throw Pinterest off as well too. That being said, it's okay to sort of experiment a little bit and maybe do something slightly different, but still keep it obviously consistent enough where people know that when they click on your pin, they know what to expect when they're going to your site. But maybe try a different color, try a different font, mix it up a little bit and see maybe if that might resonate with a few new people. You never know. Also look at seasonal events and everyday moments. So this is a little bit harder with maybe some service-based things. Maybe products, might be a little bit different, but there still is some stuff that you can do with that as well too. So like some people, when they're going into fall, they might change the color a little bit of maybe their background or make it more like fall colors or orange. And that actually might resonate with people a little bit more. So experiment with that a little bit and see what might work a little bit better. And then obviously a call to action on your pin. So what do you want people to do? Where do you want people to go? What do you want people to expect? So make sure that you have that in your pin as well too. Okay, so now I'm going to show you two of my pins and sort of go over a little bit about what works and what didn't work. So here I have a couple of pin examples. So when I first started, I didn't really do a lot worth of training for Pinterest. And I was like, oh, I got this. I can just go ahead and throw this up. Oh, this is a pretty image. I'm going to throw some text over it. And I definitely learned from that experience. And I'm, putting that all out there for you right now. But I really want you guys to know like what works and what doesn't work. So as you can see in the pin, on the left, it's, how to start a home business, learn how you can add additional stream of income, yada, yada. But right there, it's, if somebody's pinning past that, they're not going to be able to read that. It's too much words. It's not clear. On the pin on the right, this is actually one of my higher ranking pins, and that's because I've learned from my mistakes. So right here, yes, I have an image in the back, but I did a little bit of an overlay on top of it. So really what my words are popping out a little bit more. I sort of, typically I like to find pictures or stock images that have like some white space on them, that you can sort of like fit your words into. And on these particular images, there really isn't that much white space. So that's where the one on the right, I sort of did that little overlay there, and, kind of played with the transparency a little bit. And obviously, I did a lot of this on Canva, and I love Canva as well too. But it makes everything pop, and you can still see the images, and there's just something behind it, but it's not so like overwhelming like it is at the pin on the right or on the left. That one's just way too busy, and there's too much stuff going on, and that one did not rank very well at all, and I can totally see that now. So the pin on the right, you can see there's I like to keep at least just 2 different types of text, so it's not too much, it's not overwhelming. I like to, if there's a specific number, because a lot of people are like, oh, look, there's 3 easy tips on blah, blah, blah side hustles, or 5 steps to blah, blah, blah. People, that kind of resonates with people. So I like to use the number, and I made that a little bit bigger and a little bit of color to make that pop. And then I put sort of my subtitle underneath that, to sort of explain a little bit on what, they might expect when they go to the next page. And then I put, on the bottom, my website and who I am, so people know that. And I tend to like to keep, I've also heard that keeping your description a little bit on the top helps as well too, not necessarily on the bottom, because again, people are searching up, and if that's the first thing that they see, they're a little bit more up to, click on what you have. All right, so let's move on to our next one. Okay, so some additional tips. So I haven't done this yet, but I've heard a lot about video. And you're not going to necessarily put like your whole like YouTube video or whatever on there, but like a little bit of a teaser on there might be kind of cool. And I actually am thinking I might experiment with this as well too. And then obviously put captions on that, because again, most people are searching for, on their mobile, and they might not necessarily want to hear, or they might be, I don't know, at work or somewhere where they don't necessarily want the audio on. So captions on the bottom of that would probably help a lot too. Like I said before, create pins weekly. Just, Pinterest likes keeping everything fresh and new. I know when I could see a difference when I don't pin as much as I normally do if I have some busy days, and they just like for you to go on there, and they want you to keep searching. So keep adding new content and new pins, and tweak them a little bit and sort of see what resonates with people. And then just remember how people search. So kind of reference to what I talked about at the beginning, like they dream, they plan, they want to see themselves doing what you're doing. And again, you can tweak this, if you have something that's more product based, that's going to be a little bit easier to sort of showcase, but you can definitely do that for service-based, products as well too. Put all your keywords in all the right key places. So your pin title, your description, your boards, your profile, make sure all of that is sending that message to Pinterest of this is who you are and this is what you're all about. Just basically send Pinterest consistent signals. And they will sort of help out with you on that in return. All right. And then last but not least, what does and does not matter on Pinterest. So I have heard this school of thought with a lot of different people, and it took me sort of a while to sort of wrap my head around it, because you're so used to, with most social media accounts, like, oh my gosh, I have to have so many followers. So followers don't matter as much. I mean, it's obviously helpful to have more followers in a way, but it's not something that's going to make or break your account. Also, views. So you see at your top of your profile, you look at like, oh yeah, I have so many views per month. that is not a huge thing as well too. It's sort of like a surface number, I've been told. And again, that's something that's really hard for people to wrap their head around, especially because Pinterest will make some changes and then all of a sudden you see your views drop and you start to freak out. And you're like, oh my God, what's happening? What's happening? That's just their algorithm changing and kind of mixing it up a little bit. But I've been told by a lot of people that your views are not something that you should really be all that worried about. What you should be worried about are your clicks. So making sure that you are, getting those clicks to your website. With the other social media, the Facebook and Instagram, they want to keep you on their platform. Pinterest does not want to keep you on the platform. They want to send you to where you should be going. So what you're going to want to really work on it with your analytics and look at that as well is your clicks. How many people are clicking onto your website or your sales page or wherever you're actually sending them. They're looking for that activity that's happening in that search. And that's really what you should be looking at overall. So I hope that you found some value in this video. So if you have, please like, share, subscribe, and do all those fun things. Also, check out the description box below. There is a link to a free Facebook group called Side Hustle Pack, where we talk about all things side hustle, and we definitely talk about Pinterest as well too. So thank you for listening and have a wonderful day.